The other day, I ordered something online and it arrived in less than 24 hours. That's insane. I remember when you bought something online, you would have to wait 2 weeks for it to get there. And when the package showed up, you'd forgotten what you'd bought. Nowadays, we're used to 2-day shipping, 1-day shipping, even same-day shipping. We're used to fast food, 1-minute rice, drive-thrus. Every year, our phones and computers get faster. Every year, we get a little more impatient. Hi, I'm Caleb White, your spiritual fitness coach. I've never wanted to be less patient. Every year, I'd like to grow in patience. But if I'm honest, I really don't enjoy waiting. It isn't fun to wait. But being patient is necessary to following Jesus. Growing in patience is a quality of a believer who is maturing. Being around someone who is impatient can be really uncomfortable. They're constantly applying pressure. My kids struggle with patience and will ask me about every minute if we're there yet. No matter how often I tell them, they just need to wait. I think a lack of patience can come from a lack of trust in God and His plans. We want the answers to our prayers now. We want to know what plans He has for us now. We want to love our neighbor out of obedience to Jesus, but we want the fruit of it now. I get antsy when I have to wait on God, and in my antsiness, I can begin to doubt if He'll follow through on His promises. So often throughout Scripture, we see examples of God's people needing to be patient. Abraham and Sarah waiting for Isaac to be born. Moses and the people of Israel waiting in the wilderness for the promised land. David waiting for the reign of Saul to finish so he can become king like God promised. Even Jesus began His ministry with a 40-day fast in the wilderness. Waiting causes our hearts to cry out to God. It leads to us listening more intently for the voice of God when He's been quiet. Waiting in Scripture is often very active. I don't know what you're waiting for, but I'm sure you are very aware of whatever it is. In some of his last words, Joshua called the people of Israel to remember that God fulfills His promises. Joshua was a great leader and the successor to Moses. He led Israel into the land promised to them. Hear what he says in Joshua 23, verse 14. Soon I will die, going the way of everything on earth. Deep in your hearts, you know that every promise of the Lord your God has come true. Not a single one has failed. Joshua reminds them that God has been faithful. He has never failed. How many stories have we heard of God's faithfulness? So if He hasn't done what you're waiting on, you can still trust Him. He won't fail. He never has. It sounds a little paradoxical, but when we ask God to help us be more patient, He usually gives us opportunities to practice being patient. So hang in there. Focus on what today requires of you and trust God with the rest. Now go win today.